Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are doing reading sprints today. Joining me is Casey, as you can see. Hey. Hey. So yeah, if you're watching live, feel free to comment below. If you are watching on a replay, feel free to read along with us during our sprints. And at least still leave a comment anyway. That would be cool.
Yeah.
Subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us. Also, if you want to catch the full episode of the book we're going to be reading today, do make sure you follow along, on whatever pod catcher you listen to, or here on YouTube, and you will see we'll be discussing today's book. And today we are reading Book 2 in the Mercy Thompson series. Yes. Yay. I'm excited. Okay. Now, if you're not reading this, no problem. Read what you want. But if you are reading along with us, you'll get some of the commentary we may or may not say. But like last time, we are starting in different points of the book. Mm-hmm. I finished 8 chapters before today. And Casey, what did you do?
I read other books.
Yes.
So I picked up the Alpha and Omega series because the short story Alpha and Omega happens during Mooncalled, and I was like, I want to read that. Well, then Crywolf was just right there, so I picked it up and I started reading it because it happens the very next day. And then Hunting Grounds was right there on my shelf, so I picked it up and read it too, because it happens, right at the end of Mooncalled, before Bloodbound. So that's what I did.
Yeah, you were stuck in the world. You couldn't move on quite yet. Not to the next one anyway, to the next Mercy Thompson one.
No, I was waiting for Mercy for you in the live read, but I had to get my Charles and Anna, and I couldn't stop with them. Okay. Luckily, the next book of theirs, Fair Game, I think it takes place after River March.
And that's like book 3 or no, that's look like 4 or 5, isn't it?
That's like, I think it's 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you're right. I had to count. You're right.
So it'll take a while for me to get back to them if I stick with Mercy and read chronologically.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yay. So I guess we should get going, huh? We got a lot of reading to get done. Let's see if I do any better this time than last time, because I had lots of interruptions. So we shall see, right? Yes. No promises, but we'll see if I can do better than last time. All righty. And here we go.
My landlord just pulled into my driveway. So, not planned. I need to go talk to him and see what he wants.
Okay, well, we will take a little break and you go see what he wants.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, good
Sorry
luck.
about that. It's weird. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you're reading during these sprints. I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. There we go. I'm reading, if you weren't here at the beginning, I'm reading Bloodbound. Oop, there we go. Which is the second book in the Mercy Thompson series. Very good. Very good stuff. Let's see. How can I do? There we go. Better. So yeah, I'm actually in I'm almost done with chapter 9. Things are getting crazy. Every time, so this is my second time rereading this series and I love it. It's like after not reading it for a long time, I come back to it. I'm like, oh, it's like so comforting because I know it's going to be good. And the fun part about rereading, at least for me anyway, after it's been a while, I don't remember every single detail of how things happened. So when I come across it, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened. Or, oh yeah, I forgot this villain was so creepy. Because the villain in this is like ultra creepy. He's like a demon and not werewolf, a vampire. So that's a really interesting combination. So I guess he's demon ridden and he's, a vampire. So he's able to do creepy things like project other people's voices, and he's hard to kill, he's hard to find. He's like all the things that a supernatural villain could be. And he's like a big time murderer. He's like a serial killer. He's killed so many people. And of course, little Mercy has vowed to take him out for everybody. So fun stuff. Oh yeah, today is also release day. I don't know if you guys know, today is release day for the 13th book in series, which is Soul Taken. And here's my hardcover copy. I'm excited because this Friday I'm going to an event where I get to meet Patricia Briggs for the first time ever. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'll be able to chit chat with her and it won't be just a book reading. I know she's going to sign books too, but hopefully they're not like pre-signed and I can get mine signed. I don't know. I've never been to this bookstore, so I'm curious to see how it all works out. But yeah, if you love this series, book 13 is out. Get your copy. So pretty. The cover art on these books, gorgeous. I don't know. I think they have the same artist every time. Who does these? I forgot his name. I looked him up once, but yeah, I love it. All right, so we got a couple minutes. I think I might grab something to drink right quick before Casey gets back. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'll be right back. Hang tight. All right, reading time. Grab your books. We're going to restart. 25 minutes on the clock. All right. All good?
All good. Yeah.
Oh.
He's just here to mow the lawn. And I didn't realize he was showing up today.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're all good.
All right, good stuff.
Back to the book.
Hmm.
I'm only on chapter 2, but oh my god, it is wild.
This is a wild one. I was just saying on last break, I forgot how scary the villain was in this book.
Hmm. Even in chapter 1, there's so much blood and violence and death and gore.
Mm-hmm.
And I know back in Mooncalled, I complained about how chapter 1 was too world buildy, and now I'm like, ooh, maybe let's pump the brakes a bit and get some world building in, not just death and violence and throwing Mercy against the wall.
No, you jump right on in. Jump
Jump right in.
in. No start, no throwback, no flashback, no refresher really. Just go.
Yeah, just go. Just
Yeah.
you owe him a debt, pay it, and you get your ass handed to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was at the part where, well, I'm actually past it now, but it kind of surprised me, that
Mm-hmm.
scene that was so jarring. Do you remember the scene where Littleton showed up at Mercy's trailer in the middle of the
Yes,
night?
that one's scary.
It was. I'm like, oh my God. He's doing like
Oh my
demonic things, like throwing his voice and all these other things. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's terrifying.
She's sitting in there with a gun. Like, that's going to do something if he gets in there, but he can't because
I
he's a
mean, it might
vampire.
slow him down for half a second,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I was like, oh, yikes. But of course, leave it to Mercy to clean up everybody's mess and fix everything and
yeah,
find all the people.
because that's what she does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot to hit start on the timer.
Um,
I got to be better about that.
it's
I
fine.
forget I have to hit start. It should just roll for you. It should just
Should. I
roll.
should just do it.
Yeah. But anyway, uh I was just don't forget today is release day. I have to post something on Instagram.
Oh, where's my book?
Yeah.
It's somewhere around here, guys. Ah, we got it. We got it. And it's so pretty.
I know, showing. What's the author's name? I'm not author, the artist. You remember the artist name?
Dan. It's usually in the acknowledgments.
Let's see. Cuz I'm like, he's
Dan or
been
Daniel. We jump up and go find the book.
Acknowledgments.
Here it is. Here it is.
It's in the back. Let's see.
Copyright. Okay, I don't see it in here, but I know I've seen her thank him in the
Let's
acknowledgement.
look it up right quick because I'm curious now. Because I feel like I've looked him up before. Oh, there it is. Dan Dos Santos.
Yes.
Yes.
He does incredible artwork.
Yeah, it's good.
Like,
These covers are gorgeous.
you
And
can buy.
I'm sad because like I have all the beginning ones like this.
Mhm.
And then I have a few. I hate that I have these different kind of prints. And then I have a few like this that were arcs.
Mhm.
And then I have the nice pretty hardcover. I'm like, it's not fair. So
It's not.
I might go back and try to find these couple in hardcover.
Mhm.
So at least the most recent books will match. I hate that. That bothers me so bad.
I think they did like a very limited release of hardback for the early books. And you can maybe find them at like in hand stores. I don't know. That is kind of like on my list of things to do someday is to find all of the Mercy Thompson books in hardback.
Yeah. I mean, it just bothers me so much to have two different styles of
Mm-hmm.
books in one series. Like I want them all to match. If it's all mass market paperback, fine. If they're all the big paperback, fine. If they're all hardcover, perfect, but not a mix.
Mm-hmm.
I have to fix it.
That's okay. We all have to fix it. We all want to fix it. Hashtag reader problem.
I know, right? I'm like, it doesn't look right, but what can you do?
Exactly.
I just picked up, I don't know if you saw on Instagram yesterday. Where is it? I just picked up the Vampire Academy series set.
Ooh.
Yes, here it is. Because I have to reread that first book before that TV show comes on.
In September, right?
Yeah, mid-September. So,
yes. That's on my list of things to do too.
yes, I'm like, I might as well get the books. Why not? The first time around, I think I rented them from the library. So,
I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do if there's no line.
mm-hmm.
I can get in early enough, before everybody remembers, oh, we need to reread it. Then I can get in and sneak in, read all the books.
Yeah, on book 2, people have started talking about these books again. How you can search for it. I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of newer videos. So it's begun.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I just wish more people would talk about Mercy.
Yeah, it's so underrated, but there's a hardcore fan base for this series. But every time I mention it to someone or recommend it, no one's heard of it. It's really strange.
It's really weird.
She's a New York Times best-selling author. What? About to be 13 times over, maybe more, maybe 15 or 16 times with her other books. But yet no one seems to it's strange.
Hear about her. Yeah, you need to find the hardcore people who've been with her from the start.
Right.
And anybody else is just like, who? What? Never heard of her.
Right. How's that possible? I mean, because didn't they buy the rights to this series? And someone
Amazon,
that's right. And it's kind of just sitting on the shelf. I know.
I don't trust Amazon to do it justice.
Yeah.
I don't trust Amazon. That's where I'm at. I want it to be a TV show, but I don't trust Amazon.
I understand.
Maybe Netflix, maybe HBO, because there's some blood and violence and sex in here. Yeah. And then the question is, did they also get Alpha and Omega in there because it's a whole world that's interconnected? I read the first 2 books with Mooncalled. It's all there, but
yeah, I don't know.
I don't trust it.
I don't know. I think Amazon did okay with some things I've seen recently, but it's very iffy. You don't know what it's going to be. So let's cross our fingers. Actually, I just hope it actually gets made and doesn't sit on the shelf for years and then they end up giving it to someone else.
I don't know. I'd kind of rather have that happen and then somebody better pick it up.
I know.
Because I really don't trust Amazon to do this justice.
Yeah, I agree with you with hopefully someone else better picking up, but our luck, it'll be Freeform or some dumb shit.
No, they Freeform, this.
They've done, well, they did the Shadowhunters. Freeform did that.
But that's YA. This is adult.
I know, but they've also done, have they done anything adult? Well, they do have some adult shows, but they're not adaptations. Mm-mm. Yeah, this probably wouldn't be their wheelhouse.
Yeah, no. We want Netflix or HBO or Stars or somebody with some gumption.
Yeah.
But enough about that. Let's
get back to the business at hand. We have a couple more rounds to go before we're done for the day. Ooh, it is a different feeling when you have to read with intent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm I feel like I'm in school or something and they're like, it's reading time. I'm like,
hey, it's my favorite time of day.
Isn't it? All right, let's get going.
Okay. Did not get as much reading time in. My landlord came and knocked on the door and said goodbye, and then he had to talk for 10 minutes. He is a nice guy, but he interrupted reading time.
Oh, you gotta tell him, I'm reading, man. Come back later.
It's reading time. I gotta read. Come back later.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's how things go, right?
Yes.
I'm sitting here reacting like, oh my gosh. Wow. Like, oh snap. Oh my God. Like, okay, so I forgot this was in this book, honestly, but it's kind of a scene where it's been made very clear that Warren should not be number 3. That happens in this chapter.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, oh, dang. And everyone in the house knows it.
We saw little hints of that back in Moon Called, but yeah, no. Warren should be number 2.
Oh yeah, it's definitive now. Like, you can't, even Daryl had to say, something about it. And Mercy's like, deal with it when Adam gets back. Like, y'all just hold this till later. But I'm like, ooh. Well, that's a shame though. I kind of wish the wolves in this fictional world dealt with that in a different way. Like, why do you guys have to act so ill? Like
yeah. And it kind of gets better as the series goes on, but it's still one of those things where you're like, come on, just because you're old doesn't mean you have to hate the gays. You know? The gays have been around forever and ever.
And it does get better, but it's not. It's still a problem, kind of.
Yeah. I'm trying not to spoil the whole series or this one subplot throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things that just kind of irks me about this series. Like, I know we need to have the tension. We need to have the people who are in charge being like, ooh, we have others. Let's avoid the others.
Yeah.
So I get it.
It needs conflict.
Yeah.
I
wish it wasn't happening. I wish there was something better.
And the same with like Honey, right? So did you get to the part yet where they talk about Mary Jo again?
Oh no,
Mary Jo and Honey?
I'm in chapter 3. She's just walked out of her bedroom to find Adam in her kitchen with Samuel, and she's like, oh, shit, because she's beaten and bruised. And yeah, no, I'm reading very slow today. So
that was no joke. That what happened to her was outrageous. And let me just say, I made notes about how mad I was at Stefan. And it is Stefan in the audiobook. I listened.
Stefan?
It's Stefan in the audiobook. So FYI. So but I was really annoyed with him. I'm like, if you think there's a possibility that she's going to have to run and get help and tell a story, why would you put her in something that she could not get out of?
Why would you hold her on a leash?
Well,
and like the harness,
he wanted her to
silver, and the vampire. Well, the vampire.
Well, that's my point, though. Like, so she could. I understand why he wanted her to look like a pet, right? I get it, but why put her in a harness that she cannot change in? She can't change back to human in this harness, and it's also coated in something that the werewolves couldn't even get off. Like, why would you do that to her? She's supposed to be your friend. And if you think there's a possibility that there may be that kind of trouble, why would you put her in something that will prevent her from helping herself or escaping or talking or anything?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, he really fucked this whole thing up from the start. And even thinking like, oh, you're not really here to protect me. You're just here for like, just in case something happens. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I'm like, you get everything you deserve, Stefan, because you are not thinking past your nose. Like,
Mm-mm.
you want to be flashy, you want to make a point about, but I feel like it was just too much. You've gone
It
too
was
far.
way too much. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. He needed to do everything differently.
Mm-hmm. And even if he thought, which he thought that nothing would happen, right? He didn't think
Mm-hmm. He didn't think it would
that could
matter,
happen.
but
Right.
shit
But
happens all the time.
he had a contingency plan though. But if she has to use the contingency plan, she
Mm-hmm.
needs to be able to get out of the harness.
Yes. Or at the very least, run away, because he was holding her leash so tight that she couldn't get away and she couldn't chew through the leather.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, no. It was.
What a horrible I would never, ever trust him to that extent again.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. She does, but I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't.
That friendship is dead to me.
I mean, I know it was an accident, right? That's not what his intention was, but because he didn't consider who his opponent was in a serious way, he really handicapped her.
Witch, and it turned out to be a sorcerer. Like, no.
Yeah.
You knew something was wrong. As soon as you walked up, you smelled it. You knew it was wrong, and you still did it anyway, and you still held her on that leash. You still kept her.
Because honestly, let's be real honest. It's a flex when you have an animal that will walk by you without a leash and not move. And not, it's a flex to show that, you have the skill to train the animal that way. So he could have done that with Mercy. He didn't need the leash.
No, he did not need the leash.
No.
The leash was the stupidest part. But yeah, all of it was real.
Because she couldn't get, that's part of the problem she had when she got back to her house was she could not change because the harness was holding her in. It was too tight. She even said, I'm not going to be able to change wearing this.
Yeah. And Samuel was right there and he couldn't take it off for her because the buckles were silver and it was burning his hands. So they would have had to find a human, and the only human they would have been able to find would be Kyle, the human gay man that they hate because they're homophobic werewolves.
I know. That whole thing enraged me. I'm like, oh my God. It was like a power. I felt like Stefan was trying to have like a little power play or something. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it failed miserably.
It failed epically on every single level, from friendship to intimidating the sorcerer.
Shame on him.
Anyway, he's now dead in Mercy's closet, sleeping the day away.
I know.
While the two hot werewolves are at her kitchen table, and she's just like, fuck my life.
She's like, I can't even sleep. I can't do anything. I need to leave. I can't even.
But they're right there, and they won't let her go.
No. Oh my gosh. And poor Adam, she's been avoiding him
for months.
Yeah, since that date.
They went on 3 dates.
Yes.
And she was like, the only reason we didn't get naked at the end of the third one is because he had his daughter at home and I had Samuel at my home. And then I just ran away from him and avoided him forever.
Which doesn't work for very long, as you'll see soon if you haven't gotten there.
I mean, I've read it, so I know it's coming. But no, as of right now, like page 44, she's just like, oops. Avoid.
And of course, she lets him know that she's tracking him by saying, why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be somewhere?
In DC? And he's smirking and he's like, no, it's Los Angeles this week. DC was last week and next week, but Jesse's coming home, so screw all of that. I'm going to spend time with my daughter. Because he's a good dad. Like, despite it all, he's a really good dad.
Yeah. Oh.
And we get to meet the ex-wife later in the series, and she's just as joyful as...
Oh, man. She is like a person everyone loves to hate, let me tell you.
She's one of the worst villains of the series.
She's a villain. She knows what she's doing. She's a
She
villain,
knows
but we'll talk to
exactly
it
what she's doing.
when we get there. We'll have to, we'll dissect it
Oh,
because
we'll break it
we
all down.
we all hate her.
Mhm.
There's
Yes,
no way you can make
every
me feel
single reader
sorry.
hates her.
No, I don't know. All right, I think this is our last one for this. Let's see what time it is. Yeah, I think this is it. It's our last one. Hopefully, I can get a good amount of pages done.
I hope so too. Hopefully, I won't have any more interruptions. My landlord is gone, so nobody's going to be knocking at my front door.
But okay, so grab your books, guys. Here we go.
All right.
You made it!
I made it!
Yay.
It's starting to get creepy. She's at the seat and she's seeing the chair, and I'm like, I know what this chair is. Ugh.
Put your hands on the chair. Does not sound fun. No, thank you.
No, thank you. Do not want.
Right. Hard pass. But I feel like I'm so close. I'm almost done.
You are. I'm still like very early stage.
I'll be done today. I feel like I'll be done. And then after that, I will actually I decided to listen to Rogue on audiobook.
Ooh.
So I started already, actually. I'm in chapter 3. So I'll be doing
better
it.
than book 1, or is it similar?
Let me just say that Faith has not improved yet.
This is the start of book 2, so I'm holding out hope that maybe someday she will improve. But
she's done something already that I find highly asinine. Like, what is wrong with you? Are you supposed to be so smart?
She's not.
But here we go again. She did exactly the same thing at the end of the last book.
This woman.
So I'm like, we shall see.
This female character.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. And someone on Facebook commented they just finished the last 2 books in this series and they blew through them and loved them.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, that's great, but when am I going to start loving it? Is the question.
Do we have to get through 2 more books?
That's the question of the hour. Like, how long before? I mean, the story is still interesting, right? I'm not put out by the story, but
I mean, that's what it was with book 1. It was interesting. It was unique and fun and intriguing, but she was the most annoying thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I was intrigued and I want to keep going, but if she's going to stay this way and not grow as a character.
Exactly.
Ugh.
Yeah. Not fun.
Not fun at all.
But we shall see what happens. And then there's actually another book I want to start. The newest Hidden Legacy book came out today.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, damn. How am I going to read all of these books?
I know. So my plan is to finish this today.
Mm-hmm.
Then, we record it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I will finish Rogue. I just said the wrong title again. I'll finish Rogue hopefully tomorrow. I plan on making it a 1-day situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then by Saturday, because I have some podcast stuff to record, edit, post for over the next couple days. So my plan is to start the Hidden Legacy book maybe Saturday morning. That's the plan. And then see if I can finish it in a day. It might be able to be a 1-day situation.
I hope so. It's one of Andrew's. It's going to be so good.
Yeah, because then even after that, so this is the end of the month, right, coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I have to read Things We Do in the Dark, which is a mystery thriller for the podcast. And I have to have that done by what's Tuesday of next week? Is that the 2nd or the 1st? I don't know.
No, Tuesday next week is the 30th.
Oh, I might have more time then.
Yeah, September 1st is Thursday.
Okay, I think I have more time. Okay, that's great. Let me look at my calendar. So I think, yes, I can read something else in between. One more week for that. And then, of course, we are back here again next week doing Iron Kissed. So
Yes.
we are back here with Iron Kissed next week. Yes.
Another day next. Now that
Right.
we've dealt with the vampires.
I know. So now we have some Fae business to take care of. And of course, because she gets help in this book from some Fae, guess what? You have a favor to return. Or you should help someone in return because they helped you. So,
I mean, that's how this book started. Literally, page 1, he's calling her at 3 a.m. Like, I helped you, now you have to help me.
I know, which is like fine, but then it's like, but when does the help stop? Never. I did the favor, and I'm still in it. So,
and this is a lot more than he did when helping Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely. This was like an uneven exchange.
Oh, absolutely. Just thinking about that chair, this is not fair for her at all.
I didn't sign up for this. This is not the agreement. But you know, Mercy does it anyway. She does what she thinks she needs to do.
She's a loyal friend, and she will do anything for the people she cares about.
To her own detriment, to be quite frank.
Oh,
she doesn't care. She's like, she cares, but she's like, what's the worst that could happen? I die? Okay. Fine. She doesn't even care like that, it seems like. And then, of course, all the stuff she's doing with the wolves, and she keeps saying over and over again, yeah, Adam made me his mate in front of the pack, but it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't matter.
Sure it doesn't.
Girl.
Right. Right. Sure it doesn't, but you're doing things in this book that proves that it matters, you know?
Over and over and over again.
Stop being delusional. I'm like, I forget, how long does it take for her to stop being delusional about this?
I think Bone Crust, book 4.
All right. Because I'm like, come on, girl. This is crazy.
Without spoiling, shit goes down in Iron Kissed, and I don't know if she makes the choice in Iron Kissed or Bone Crossed, but shit goes down and like cards on the table. She has to make a choice.
Maybe it was Iron Kissed because
some stuff happens.
Yeah, there was some face stuff.
We'll talk about it next week.
Now that it's like it's pulling my memories out, you know, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah, stuff goes down. But first, I gotta read all of it. Don't make me skip ahead of my brain.
No. Keep order. So yeah, I'm almost done. I'm excited. So I think we should call it. What do you think?
I think we should call it.
Okay, so thanks for joining us today for live reading sprints. Of course, come back next week. Subscribe here on YouTube. Hit the like button before you go. We would really appreciate that. And don't forget, we will be here same time next week talking about another book. And of course, bring what you want to read. It doesn't have to be the same. And we'll have a good time with it. So yeah, we're done. All right, you guys. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
See you soon.